we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Happy Friday. We made it. We made it to Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Josh here, Oreo Express. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Hope you're all ready for an exciting weekend. And want to say thank you for tuning in. If you could, please hit that like button and share this out. That helps us tremendously, and we appreciate your help in doing that. And once again, thank you for tuning in. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got some fun Friday stuff, too. It is Friday. We're going to talk about the crazies, some of the laughter going on, and some of the unbelievable stuff that happens every day in this country. Let me jump over here to the comments here. Trina's in the house. Hello, Trina. Susan K. Spencer. Hello, hello. Pixie. Nola. We got Cade, Texas, with those beautiful American flags saying, God bless America. Texas Bigfoot's in the house. B. Mikey with that beautiful American flag. Deb V. Who else we got in the house? Jan Doe. Let's see. J.H. Candy Bar. Real sweet. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you all. And we got Paulette. How are you doing? Got Paulette over here. Carol Burton. Carrie's Musings. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you guys for tuning in. Well, we made it, guys. We made it. It is Friday. It is Friday. And boy, what a long week. What a long week. We got some stuff going on today. We're going to show you we're going to start off the show with showing you some of the crazies outside of the Supreme Court protesting the Supreme Court. You know, the grassroots activists that hate this country. We'll talk about that. And we just had Yellow Rose and Tracy jump in. Hello, hello, hello. We got to get those shares out. We're not getting anybody in right now. So I'm going to start off with some of that, show you some of that. We also got Viktor Orban meeting with the president right now. We got some of those comments. We got Democrats who have decided they're going to double down on this shutdown. They're more worried about their party's image of being anti-Trump than they are about the American people. That was quite interesting. And some stuff going on around there's actually some protesters that got arrested this morning at the Broadview ICE facility near Chicago. We'll bring you a couple videos of that and some other stuff. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Let's hit this one here. Let's go. This was outside of the Supreme Court today, guys. Let's see.
Supreme Court. Supreme Court. We judge you. We judge you. Supreme Court. Supreme Court. We judge you. We judge you. Illegitimate. 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 Illegitimate.
Man, these people are upset. That was supporters of same-sex marriages, as you guys know. They are discussing what year was that? It was past 2000 when they made a ruling about same-sex marriages, and they are going back and discussing, hearing an argument on that. How about this one? We're not going back. We're not going back. Look at all these great, lovely, beautiful people here.
Going back. We're not 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 going back. We're not.
Look at all those matching signs. Man, those people have the same talent. Could you imagine being grassroots and going into your garage or on the floor of your living room and you're making signs to go protest the Supreme Court, and your sign is exactly the same as that sign and that sign, same colors and everything? Yeah, I know. Very interesting, right? Very interesting, to say the least. Let me see if there was something else, an article on this one. Thought I had another one pulled up, but I didn't. I might have saved it. Supreme Court will discuss taking up same-sex marriage case today. So they're just talking about taking it up. They're not hearing arguments. So I apologize about that. I knew when I said that. That's why I double-checked. I'm like, wait a second. Where's my brain at? But the U.S. Sixth Circuit's Court of Appeals did something. And when we talk about some of these court cases, you're like, what kind of country are we in to even have to discuss this? I'm just being real with you. One of them was, and we've covered some of these stories, children getting expelled from school for not using the preferred pronoun of either a teacher or another student. It says the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled that schools cannot force students to use preferred pronouns. The ruling states that there is no evidence that the use of biological pronouns would disrupt school functions or qualify as harassment. This is in Ohio. This is a big win for Ohio families, but think about it. Why do we even have to have a win like this? Again, and this is part of what we're seeing, especially with our younger generation. They're taught in schools that somehow they're going to normalize things that just aren't normal. And then when they go out in the real world, they take what they've learned and they apply it. So they get this job and they put their pronouns in, and it's like, that's the biggest red flag there. Every big class shooter had pronouns. All the Tesla bombers, they all had pronouns. If you want to be on that side of history, you do it. And I feel bad for you. But here was the ruling from the court over there in Ohio. It says the Supreme Court's cases provide a clear answer. A school district may not restrict personal speech on matter of public concern unless the speech would materially and substantially disrupt school activities or infringe on the legal rights of others in the school community. The school district has fallen far short of meeting this demanding standard. It introduced no evidence that the use of biological pronouns would disrupt school functions or qualify as harassment under Ohio law. But I guess the big question is why? I mean, you think there's a lot of things that we see go to the Supreme Courts or appellate courts, and you're like, why are we even fighting this? Like, how did the country get so far off normalcy and trajectory to a great American society that these are the things that people have to waste their time in litigation, waste their time, our tax dollars. And a lot of it is the unions, the teachers' unions, the school districts. Um, we're not getting the same, and this isn't all of them. And I'm not gonna put. I hate when people group certain professions, just like police. I support police. There's a lot of police departments and police officers I do not support, but in general, teachers, there's probably a majority these days of teachers I don't support, but there is some great teachers out there that want to go help the student, not indoctrinate the student, not lie to the student. And unfortunately, what we're seeing, especially with some of these programs that come out of Washington, you have these different, they do Title One school. This is a Title One school. They get extra help and benefits because they're in low, they got a higher poverty rate than this school. And then we pay woke teachers to move into the district. And you know what? I don't want you to pay woke teachers. I want you to pay qualified teachers. That's what I want. Somebody that's actually going to care. Reading, writing, arithmetic. What you do in your bedroom stays in your bedroom. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I think most Americans can agree with that statement. How about this? This was, I almost put this up yesterday, but it's funny. We cover what they just did. And in Virginia, they had a school teacher put out a meme of something that kind of relates to this. Her name was Sabrina Morris. His name is now Sabrina Morris, a teacher in Danville Public Schools. He made a post online threatening to shoot people if they don't put made up pronouns into emails. You can't make this stuff up. This was from Libs of TikTok, but there was an update on this. So it says that they got a gun to somebody's head, and obviously they have the cult flag on the hand and the gun, and it says, put the pronouns back in the email. I don't know if you just have a whole lot of time on your hands. I'm not sure how to figure it out. Obviously, you probably need a little help. But you're that upset that people remove their pronouns from their email? Why? And I know why. You thought that this club was going to grow and all these people that had serious mental health issues would finally have a place where they fit in after refusing to get the medical treatment they need. And that's kind of sizzling out. I get it. I get it. But how about the school district? This is a school district where that person who threatened to shoot people over pronoun usage. Check this out. Look at what they did here. They have removed at George Washington High School. You see Sabrina Morris. You can subscribe to the page. And after all that went viral, all of a sudden that page is no longer found. Hopefully, that teacher is no longer found in the school district. I mean, there's a certain set of standards that you got to keep in certain jobs. You're a police officer, any taxpayer funded job. There's a bit of morality, and it's not there anymore, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. There's been morals that you gotta adhere to. There's some standards. Wanting to shoot any American citizen because of something you don't like doesn't fall in that moral category. I think many of you would agree, right? So hopefully we get an update on that one. Hopefully we get another update on this one. And then Gateway Pundit, former transgender New Hampshire state rep, pleads guilty in connection to child sex crime. Crazy, huh? A former transgender New Hampshire state legislator pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation of children this week. Stacy Lofton, a biological male, a Democrat who was elected to the New Hampshire. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Hate when it does that. See if I can back it up. What? Well, we just won't pull up those anymore. It says a Democrat who is elected to the New Hampshire House 3 times and resigned twice over legal problems is facing up to 30 years in prison. It says in 2023, Lofton, 41 of Nashua, New Hampshire, and his former intimate partner and daycare worker, Lindsay Groves, were charged with child exploitation. There's not only a special place in hell, but there should be the death penalty whenever you cause a child to stumble. This is crazy. It's kind of interesting. You have senators like Scott Wiener. Whenever we do a bill to protect children, and we talk about the punishment and the crime, well, that's targeting the LGBT. Well, we're talking about protecting children from pedophiles. Why does that always target the LGBT? I don't know. Maybe you be the judge, right? I don't know. What else do we got here? Yesterday, I seen this, I think it was last night. 7 people fall ill at Joint Base Andrews after a suspicious package was opened. That came from the base. Let me pull up this article right here and we'll get through it. It says 7 people. You know what? Let me see something.
Seven people at Joint Base Andrews fell ill after a suspicious package was opened Thursday afternoon, prompting 2 buildings on the base to be evacuated, a spokesperson told CBS News on Friday. A spokesperson on Thursday said that at about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the building and one connected to it were evacuated as a precaution, adding that a cordon was established around the area. Joint Base Andrews first responders were dispatched to the scene, determined there were no immediate threats, and normal operations have resumed, the spokesperson said. The investigation has been turned over to the Air Force Office of Special Investigation and is ongoing. The 7 people, who were not identified, were evaluated and treated by base medical personnel and released. No one was hospitalized, the spokesperson said on Friday.
Interesting. So hopefully they come out with some more information. What was in that package? I don't know. Not good, though. Not good. We got Tammy Jane, Nola, Melissa, Shelly Rose, all chatting over there on our Rumble chat. Thank you for being with us on this fabulous Friday. I'm going to grab, I got my Donald Trump inauguration, 47th president inauguration mug. And I needed a little coffee. I seen this story last night, and I wanted, there's people calling for, so a security guard tried to stop a shoplifter. It was at a Spirit Halloween store, and they got into a confrontation. He pulled the gun out. We're going to go through the story. We're going to read it to you. Again, and this is witness accounts, and again, there is some conservatives standing up saying, hey, this is BS. But at one point, he gets on top of the shoplifter, pulls out the gun, and says to freeze. He gets up, puts the gun away, gets out his pepper spray, and he's tackled again. When he's on the ground and the suspect is on top of him, he shoots 3 times. The suspect did succumb to the injuries, but now they're charging him with murder. Oh, man. Let's get into it. This was an ABC 6. So again, you got to understand the bias is going to be anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment, anti-rights and freedoms. It says, and you could just tell from the way the story goes off. Spirit Halloween security guard killed shoplifter for stealing less than $90. So he stopped him. He didn't shoot and kill him for stealing. He shot and killed him because the suspect was on top of him. And we'll get into that. But again, this is how the misleading headlines. Most people never look past the headlines, folks. It says Albuquerque, New Mexico. A security guard. Now, we're going to go through it and then we're going to pick it apart because, again, this is a left-leaning. Again, a security guard at Spirit Halloween was arrested after he allegedly shot and killed an unarmed shoplifter that was trying to make off with less than $90 worth of merchandise. I think the threshold for murdering somebody should be $20, guys. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, if you get a 12-pack of soda or 24-pack and you're at an expensive store and it's $21, shoot them down. But if they're at like a Smart and Final or some Food for Less or something like that, and that 24-pack is only $18, let them live. According to criminal complaint obtained by Law and Crime, the incident began around 5 p.m. on Thursday while 25-year-old Josiah Armijo was working as a security guard at the Spirit Halloween located at 2103 Carlisle Boulevard Northeast. Another man, 41-year-old Chase Beltramo, allegedly grabbed multiple items and exited the store without paying for them. Armilo noticed Beltramo and immediately reacted per the complaint. Armilo tackled the man and pulled him into a steel pole before the man fell to the ground, the complaint read. The pair reportedly began to fight, and at one point, Armilo climbed on top of Beltramo and begins to strike Chase with what appears to be his fist. The two fight, during which Josiah, while on top of Chase, draws his firearm, points it directly in Chase's face, and begins to scream at him. When Beltramo managed to wiggle free of Armilo's grip, the security guard allegedly threw him back onto the ground, saying, "Don't effing move, I'll effing shoot you." The complaint explicitly noted that Beltramo's second escape attempt, he did not hit Armijo back, and investigators said there was no indications that the reported shoplifter was in possession of a firearm. You don't need to be in possession of a firearm to injure somebody, just to let you know. It said Armijo allegedly put his gun back in the holster and pulled out a can of spray, which he administered to Beltramo's face. Finally, Armijo pulled his gun out once more listen, they don't tell you what happens in between. Finally, Armijo pulls his gun out once more as Beltramo managed to climb on top the guard and hit him, at which point 3 gunshots rang out, the complainant said. Beltramo was shot in the upper left torso and the left buttocks. He initially survived the shooting, but eventually would succumb to his injuries. Investigators reviewed security video and witness video and said they did not see Chase ever make a threat to Josiah or be armed at any time. If you're on top of me hitting me, that's a threat. It says the complaint read, additionally, they reported the amount Beltramo was attempting to steal was $90, less than $90. Don't care how much it was. And I'm not saying I expect security guards to be police officers. I do not. It says authorities determined that although Armijo was just in stopping Beltramo from stealing from the store, he exercised excessive force by using his weapon. He was charged with second-degree murder. Let me see if I can find another article on this. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Hopefully they got a gift singo for this guy. Let me pull something up right here. But think about that. You could say that, hey, he shouldn't have stopped. You could say whatever you want. But if someone's on top of you and you shoot them 3 times, good for you. Good for you. Let's see what comes up here. Here's some video. I don't know how good the video is. Probably not that good.
On your back. Come here. Come here. Get on your stomach. On your... 82, come on! Don't move! Don't move! You move, I shoot you!
I just love everybody walking in today's America like nothing's going on. This is Democrats' fault, folks. There is pepper spray, though.
You move, I shoot you! Get on your back! Get on your You saw me. Shots fired! Shots fired!
Feeling a shot? Okay. Take a breath.
I'm sorry. Why? Why?
So that was some of that video. Now, I will say this. Not that I disagree with being aggressive. Obviously, security guards are not that trained. I remember, I've told you guys this story. I worked in a medical facility where we all had to get guard cards because we worked in the front office to protect the rest of the staff. We got a baton license. I was 18, 19 years old. The training was kind of a joke. I mean, you're kind of told you can't do anything. But we're seeing more and more where people are doing more and trying to send a message to criminals. Hey, you come in here, you're going to find out. Now, at the beginning, I could see how people think that was aggressive. But at the end, when that guy jumped on him, that was his job to protect himself. I truly believe that this is an unlawful prosecution. Again, they always make the thief the victim. I live in California. Somebody breaks into my house and cuts themselves on the window. They'll sue the shit out of me and they'll win. That's what's happened with Democrat policies. If I shoot that person, I'll be the one in jail. And sometimes that jail time would be much worth it if you're protecting your family or your loved ones. But I just watched this and I was like, man, I'm sure that guy didn't intend to shoot anybody. I know he didn't. I would say 20 years ago. I'm just kind of thinking back of a timeline. 20 years ago, he probably would have been rewarded some medal from the police department. I'm just being honest. So we're going to follow up with this one. I'm going to put it in my saved tabs. And hopefully, things will get better for this person. Let me close this out and move on to the next one. I thought this would be a good one for Fun Friday. We seen Senator Bernie Moreno and Senator Jackie Rosen go at it. I think it was yesterday or the day before, where Moreno's calling her out on wanting to shut down the government. Well, you know, the Democrats want to keep putting more and more restrictions on you. You know, I mean, damn near, if you got a kid, and I don't know how it is in your state, but in California, they damn near need to be in a car seat until they're 16. I was a kid. I was out of a car seat at 2 years old. You know what I mean? And I'm all for the safety. I think there should be a reasonable thing, 6 years old, but they want like, I don't know, 100 pounds or something now. You got to be 100 pounds, be out of a car seat. It's just something crazy. And so Senator Bernie Moreno calls out Senator Jackie Rosen about mandating extra safety equipment on cars. That's safety equipment that I don't know how old you are, but you've made it through life. You want all the safety equipment I want? I want like an old Buick. I want an old Cadillac, the Boast. You hit something, you're going through it. That to me is pretty safe. Not today's tinfoil plastic cars.
To dinner while people are starving. You might.
What is this? Is epic. This is good fun Friday stuff.
Surprise you that I got the VIN numbers of every one of my Democrat colleagues' vehicles and found that none of them bought any of the additional safety technologies on their cars?
I did not know that, Senator.
You went into my garage
Nope.
in Las Vegas to find the VIN number on my car.
You have a car that you drive here, or do you walk?
That is my staff's car.
So you're not concerned about your staff safety. I think what we just saw was exactly classic Washington, D.C. In other words, the car that I drive should be safe. The car that my staff drives, who cares about them? I get a paycheck.
I object to you stalking my car and my staff to find the VIN numbers to present to this committee. What are you doing there? What are you going to do with them? It's an invasion of our privacy. If you came and asked me for my VIN, I will tell you what I have in my car.
It's visible from the outside of the car.
So you went and followed me. You went and followed me to see who drives me.
Can I reclaim my?
How about you just answer the question? Why are you forcing this on American people to have to pay more when your own staff and everybody else on that committee don't have those safety features? And write down their VIN number. You interrupted me. You're attacking me. You watched me go to see who drives me, writing down their VIN number so you could find out what they have. That seems a little creepy.
Just expose the hypocrisy. Much like, for example,
expose the hypocrisy.
That you get paid. You get a paycheck, but you walk by. You get. I'm
donating my paycheck, sir, and I would happily be in legislation.
What do you say to them? What do you say to the staff? What do you say to the TSA workers? What do you say to the air traffic controllers?
What I am saying to you is it's the Republican shutdown, my friend. You are in control of the White House. You are in control of the House, and you are in control of the Senate. And if you went home to a food bank instead of going to Mar-a-Lago to eat at a gold-plated dinner while people are starving, you might see and hear your constituents, sir. You are blind to the suffering of your people.
Does it take 60 votes?
You want to have this? Come talk to me in private.
I just love Senator Bernie Moreno. I mean, he's great. He's great, calling him out for all the hypocrisy. So yesterday, I just want to show you something that's kind of interesting. So yesterday, we covered it where one of the people that was a guest of the pharmaceutical companies passed out while Trump was holding an Oval Office public address regarding some of the weight loss drugs. And I just thought something was interesting.
Well, thank you very much.
And I'm going to show you this. Listen to what happened, because remember, all the fake news was saying, oh, Trump didn't care. Trump was putting his foot on his throat. You know, all these things that nobody can believe to try to make Trump look bad.
So far, he's doing well, but I'll tell you,
here's Dr. Oz just kind of giving you a brief scenario of what Trump actually did.
Before he's doing well, but I'll tell you a story it speaks loudly to the kind of person the president is. So I wanted to speak to the wife to let her know what was happening, but also comfort her. And the president saw me in the corner, and he came over and said, "Who are you talking to?" I said, sort of sheepishly, "I'm talking to the wife." And he said, "Give me that phone." He talked to her and got her much calmer than I could have ever done. And I just think he's just a wonderful human being that he would take time. He could have gone up and done 10 other things, but he actually cared that the wife of a man who he has never met before felt in a safer place. He remembers the forgotten folks.
And we don't get to hear about that enough. But I thought what was interesting was this right here. This is MSNBC.
Absolutely,
and the clip they aired was when Trump stood up. Remember when he stood up and he kind of looked at the crowd? He made sure everything was going all right. This is what they did the freeze frame on, of course, to try to make Trump look bad. Look at
iconic photograph taken today at that event after a guest passed out suddenly. He appears to be fine. Trump stands unmoved, annoyed looking as staff rushes to revive the man. And you can look at this.
Annoyed. And the reason why I had to bring that up is because of one of the biggest communists in California is Rep. Ted Lieu. And so you've seen that. That was MSNBC's. They couldn't play you a video. They had video of what he was doing there. They had video of him walking over and talking to the wife of this man, trying to calm her down. They didn't show you any of that. But listen to Rep Ted Lieu. I mean, honestly, this dude is a traitor piece of trash. Take a listen to this. You'll get a laugh. More fun Friday.
To oppose fake news is for people to watch outlets like MSNBC, where you report real news all the time.
What?
To oppose fake news is for people to watch outlets like MSNBC.
To oppose fake news is for people to watch outlets like MSNBC. MSNBC's the worst. I think, aren't they the lowest in all the polling and viewership and everything? I mean, they got Mad Cow on there. They got all these people. But he's literally telling you, literally after they had to take a still shot, they took a picture. One of the photographers took a picture of Trump standing, he was in his position moving. You can go back and watch the video yourself. But they wanted to say, oh, Trump looked angry and upset that this person would dare to pass out.
Where you report real news.
Where you report real news. That's a good fun Friday. You got to admit it. That's a good fun Friday. We haven't been talking about this much. I told you guys I might be going down to the San Diego area. There's a governor showdown this weekend, tomorrow night, and we just couldn't make it with the funds and the hotel expenses. We wanted to, but we probably will air the actual, I believe it's going to be tomorrow night at 7. I got to get a hold of the organizer, Kim. I got to talk to her here shortly after this show. And if everything works out, I believe it's going to be about tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific. I will take that stream while it's live and put it through the Oreo Express platform. But so while we're talking about governors, this is interactive polls, and I don't look at this as any inclination of what's truly going to happen. It's a good conversation piece and a topic. This is 2026 California governor top 2 primary polls. This is from the Becerra internal poll. And you have Chad Bianco with 16%, Katie Porter with 15%, and Steve Hilton with 12%. The rest are all Democrats. Now, I am going to say this. Things could change. Things could change in a major way. They always do. But I don't think there's any other person that is a registered Republican that can raise. I know people don't understand this, but it takes money to do this. Lots of money for a governor's race. Have name recognition already. Steve Hilton has been working on name recognition, and so has Chad Bianco. There's things I disagree with both of them. If I had my choice right now and I had to decide between the two, and this is not putting my endorsement out or anything like that, I would say Steve Hilton. Chad Bianco got on my bad side when he lied about some patriots, some MAGA patriots, when we were at the Trump rally down there in near San Diego area. You guys remember that huge rally we went to when we were coming back from back east, and one of our patriots was pulled over, had guns in his car. Not a big deal to me. And Chad Bianco came out, acted like he stopped an assassination on Trump. This person had been to Mar-a-Lago before, and really just put his foot in his mouth in a major way. And that just rubbed me the wrong way. And so, and there's some things I don't agree with Steve, but I think we're going to have to, if we want somebody to help fix California, we're going to have to lay down some of our principles, and not lay them down. But I always said this before. If you want to eat an apple, you don't put the whole apple in your mouth. You take one bite at a time. Chew and swallow. That's what we need to be doing here in California. We're not going to elect a MAGA person in California. I don't care who you think you are. I will argue. Doesn't matter if we get rid of mail-in ballots. Doesn't matter if we have a poll watcher watching every person walk into the thing. It's just not there yet. That's why I'm saying if you take a bite out of the apple, These people are so indoctrinated, even Republicans I run into all the time, because they watch their local news. They don't watch programs like this. They don't do the homework for themselves. And so, Steve Hilton, one of my things that is my understanding, and I got to double check all this. I don't know where they stand today, but at least in the past, was not pro-life. Okay. So do you meet 8 of my top 10? If you meet 8 of my top 10, I'm okay with that. And I think Steve Hilton will be meeting the 8 of the top 10. I've met him before. We've done some, I did an event. We both spoke at the same event back in Merced last year. Is he perfect? No. Is there a perfect candidate running for MAGA Republicans? Not even close. And I know there's a lot of independent groups or activist groups, and they have their people and they really want to support their people. But doing this as long as I have, it's just not going to work out for those that they're supporting. I can promise you that. They won't even get to 5% in the polling. It's impossible. I mean, right now to get to 5% in the polling, and you need to start doing it now. Because if you're at 5% now, you can climb. But you're looking at maybe 20 million. You need billboard campaigns. You need to be on major talk shows. You need to do everything to get to 5%. And the minimum would be $20 million. If they can't raise that within 30 days, just going to be honest with you. I understand politics. I've had a political action committee. I've gotten people elected. I know what it takes. And those were smaller races. I mean, a school board member, you needed $75,000 to be elected to a local school board in my community. So it's going to be interesting, but we're going to be talking about this, and it's going to be ramping up. And B Mikey, thank you so much, B Mikey. B Mikey gifted 5 subscriptions to the Oreo Express. If you guys received a subscription, give him a big shout out and a thank you. Again, B Mikey supports the platform. He helps keep us lights on, cameras on. Thank you, B Mikey. We appreciate you. Let's see who else we got here. Happening now, the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban arrives at the White House to meet with President Trump. Take a look here.
I see him. I see him.
So there was that there. Viktor Orban going to the White House. We got some comments there from inside the White House. Take a listen to this.
About maybe that I don't want to know. It's an honor to have.
Get this up on the screen for you.
A friend of mine here, Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, and he's done a fantastic job. He's a very powerful man within his country, but he's also beloved. They love Viktor, and people that know him do. He's a really great country, and he's got no crime. He's got no problems like some countries do, but probably has a couple of things that I don't know about, maybe that I don't want to know about. But he's a very special person. I've known him for a long time. We're going to be talking trade. We're going to be talking a little bit of Russia, Ukraine. We'll be talking about energy and energy prices.
So a lot of stuff going on there. And then we got some more comments that were said in there before we move on to the rest of our programming. This was
a great
actually
leader.
Victor, is this it? Victor Orban talking about the Biden administration and how Biden ruined everything. I think we know that. We've covered that, but take a listen.
He's loved in his country. And Victor, would you like to say?
Thank you very much, President.
Thank you.
First of all, may I say that thank you very much for the invitation. It's good to see you, President, back to the White House. And good to be back after 6 years, in a way, again, to see you here.
Yeah.
As we have met last time. The reason why we are here to open a new chapter between the bilateral relation of the United States and Hungary, basically because during the Democrat administration, everything was ruined. So after your leaving president, everything was basically broke, ruined, cancelled, a lot of harm done by the previous administration. In the last 10 months, President, what you have done, we are very much grateful for that. You restored the old level of the relationship. You improved the bilateral relation. You repair what was done badly by the previous administration. So now we are in quite a good position to open up a new chapter, let's say a golden age between United States and Hungary. And we have plenty of suggestions for today: economic cooperation, military cooperation, and political cooperation. And the main issue, probably, President, we are neighboring Ukraine, which is in war. It's the most important issue for us, and we would like to discuss with you how we can contribute to help you in your peace efforts. That's why we are
you've
here.
taken a lot of Ukrainians that needed your help, and you've taken a lot of them in your country, and everybody appreciates that.
Thank you very much. We do our best.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
So that was some of the comments. Trump also said some stuff. Listen to this.
15 times, and they keep rejecting. We have a shutdown, as you probably know, because the Democrats have gone, they're crazy. They're crazy, but they don't care if they hurt the country. But we've approved it 14 times. We've approved a opening up 14 times, and they keep rejecting it. And I guess maybe they will again. Let's see what happens. They want to have a lot of bad things happen, bad things for our country. We're not going to give $1.5 trillion to people that came into our country illegally. We're not going to do it.
I agree. We're not going to do it. And we got some stuff on the shutdown. What are Democrats doing? Well, it seems like they're doubling down, but listen to what Trump posted this morning. He was going off. Just say no. Nuclear option. Terminate the filibuster. And the next one was Republicans. Terminate the filibuster and bring back the American dream. If you don't do it, the Dems will, and you'll never see office again. President Donald J. Trump. Now, we told you, a lot of times when it comes to policy, our own worst enemy is people with an R by their names. We covered this when he first said the nuclear option. We said, well, you're going to have some rhinos. You're going to have people that pretend to be MAGA and America first that are going to be pretty exposed. So far, I think we got 24 of them. This was it. 24 Republican senators want to keep the filibuster in place, with only 9 senators confirming they want it removed, while the rest remain undecided. Here's 24 that want to keep the filibuster in and not use the nuclear option. You got, of course, Mitch McConnell's. I'm surprised Rick Scott's on there. We knew Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst would be on there. Kennedy wants to keep it. Even John Thune, leader John Thune. We always know Rand Paul will be on there. And once again, Susan Collins, no surprise. These are the folks that want to ensure that nothing gets passed before the midterms. And if we don't do this quickly, we're going to have the same sentiment in the country that we had in the last election, where people are fired up, believing the fake news. If we want to create jobs, we have to get Trump's policies passed. We don't need to be sitting in court all the time fighting the obstructionist, which is also known as the Democrat Party. Here was some comments, and if you listen,
there will be some pretty substantial damage.
Senator Murphy tells you exactly what you need to know. It's not about the American people. Listen to what he says here. This was yesterday.
I think there will be some pretty substantial damage done to a Democratic brand that has.
Oh, don't do that.
If on the heels of an election in which the people told us to keep fighting, we immediately stop fighting. If we surrender without having gotten anything, and we cause a lot of folks in this country who had started to believe in the Democratic Party to retreat again, I worry that it will be hard to sort of get them back up off the mat in time for next fall's election cycle.
So he was trying to carefully word that, but what he said is party over country. That's what he said. He's worried about the Democrat branding. The far left, the one that has the Democrat Party held hostage right now, that are supporting communists like Mamdani, are controlling what they're doing. And he's like, well, these radicals, we got them off the couch right now. We got them out protesting, giving up their time. If we just open up the government, give SNAP recipients back their SNAP benefits, pay TSA, pay our soldiers and everything else, that's going to damage our brand. It's exactly what he said right there. This is where we are at in America. There was more. Let's listen to Jamie Raskin. What does Jamie Raskin have to say? Jamie Raskin was pushing for the nuclear option under Joe Biden. CNN calls him out on that. What do you think about it now? Take a listen.
One of the things that he has been talking about for the last couple of days more intensely is getting rid of the filibuster. That's actually something that you wanted to do when Joe Biden was president and things weren't getting through the Senate.
Look,
is that an area where you agree with him?
We don't need a procedural fix at this point.
So you wanted the filibuster to be ended when Biden was president, but now, no.
You know, I'm not in the Senate, so I've got no say in that.
Oh, you had a lot to say under Biden, but now to end the filibuster, a little bit different. Isn't it funny, guys? Whatever butters their bread that day, whatever butters that bread. And I'm sorry, but I know a lot of you folks are out working. Some of you are listening to the podcast right now while you're at work. You're putting in your time. You just want to live the American dream. You're not asking to be rich. You're not asking to be lazy. You just want to go on. You want affordable health insurance. You want to be able to not have most of the country, 44 million Americans living off your tax dollars. You want everybody to participate in this great experiment called the United States. And I've always said this. I'd tease my son when he got his first 40-hour-a-week job years ago. And I said, yeah, I remember my first part-time job too. And he looked at me, and he knows how hard I've worked. He knows, throughout while he was growing up, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes I worked 14, 15 days. When you're in management and you're on salary, unfortunately, you got to do that at times. But I wanted to be able to pay for soccer. I wanted to be able to play for baseball. I wanted to get the new cleats. I wanted to be able to do that and not have to depend on somebody else. And that's what America wants. So the American dream isn't just like, well, I can't afford this, so the government needs to provide it for me. The American dream is you might have to take 2 jobs if you didn't put yourself in a position already to have a decent pay. And we have people that are not even willing to work 20 hours a week in order to get subsidies from the government. It's owed to them. The entitlement is disgusting in this country. How about this? Same thing, Senator Blumenthal. Listen to what he says, just to give you an idea. They're looking at polling and people are blaming Republicans. So they're like, not everybody. People that do their research know who's shutting down the government. But because they have a Democrat arm, which is the legacy media, one of their arms going out telling people lies 24/7, that's how you manipulate the people. That, to me, it's voter interference. They need to be honest. to have a licensing agreement with the FCC, but that's just me. Take a listen to what he says.
There is no reason to surrender now, every reason to stand firm. There is
no reason to surrender now. So the 800 and something canceled flights, the starving children. I mean, they're using this word, starving children. The senior citizens that they might only get $64 a month, but that $64 helps them get some nutrients in their body. And he says, no reason to surrender now. Told you where we're at in this country. Now in the Senate. Another one. Again, the party that is to blame for the government being shut down. Listen to what they're saying.
Now in the Senate, Senate Democrats have been very strong in holding up until we negotiate a resolution to the expiring Affordable Care Act credit.
All they want is subsidies, folks. All they want is subsidies. They want billions of dollars to give illegal aliens health care. And even if there was no illegal aliens that would be recipients of that, it's still a bloated system that is affecting our national debt. So I think I have a video of Trump saying something yesterday. Let's see. Listen to this. And again, this is what we said way before Trump said it publicly. Listen. It's horrible footage, but the audio's there.
We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away based on a number. Here's an example. When I was president, the number that you're talking about was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Biden went totally crazy, gave it to anybody that would ask, gave it to people that were able-bodied, had no problem. Anybody that would ask, we get the number. And it's many times the number of people are on. This wasn't meant for that. It was meant for people that had real problems. In many cases, people that were down and out, people that could be saved. It wasn't meant for people that could do whatever they want, the people that say, well, I don't think I'll work, I'll just, collect this money. Take a look at the number of what it was during my administration and what it was during the Biden administration. It went up many, many times my first term.
40% increase under Biden for SNAP recipients. 40%. But his economy was great. Just 40% more people needed to get government assistance and handouts. This is another thing right here. This was NBC News. It started today, and it's going to get worse. It says the FAA ordered a 4% reduction in operations starting Friday, which will ramp up to 10% by November 14th. Democrats are okay with that. This is another article. Hundreds of flights have been canceled as reductions to take effect today at 40 high-traffic airports in an attempt to relieve pressure amid the record-length government shutdown. How about this one? Listen to this one. They know all they got to do is pass the continuing resolution and then get back to the drawing board. To discuss what we can do.
First thing I want to say is I want to thank all of the federal workers, all of our air traffic controllers, our TSA officers, our CBP officers, and all the people that support them for coming in and working like they are without pay. It is incredible what they're doing and ensuring that our aviation system is safe. Now, I also thank our team who's doing everything during this shutdown here to ensure that we are minimizing the disruption and making sure that our customers are always the center of our focus and attention on how we manage through this. But let me be clear. We need to get the government reopened. We need to get this aviation system back. And I implore our members of Congress to get together and get the government reopened so we can get back to normalcy. Aviation is super critical to this nation. It's super critical to our traveling public.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Whether it's businesses, whether it's people that are going to be traveling for the holidays to go see loved ones, that's who Democrats want to hurt the most, guys. It's not playing the blame game. I said this from day one of the government shutdown, that you can pass the continuing resolution 40-something days ago. They would have had this entire 41 days to discuss Obamacare and its failures and its bloated spending of taxpayer dollars. They didn't want to do any of it. They didn't want to do any of it. Over in Chicago, we had some arrests made today. People were out in the street blocking the road at the ICE detention center in Broadview, Illinois. They were holding a sit-in. Take a look. I want to see if you notice anything about the people here.
Got some new video. This is Broadview, Illinois.
Look at them. All white liberals, all the ones I see, the ones destroying this country, white female liberals.
And Friday morning has been the time when, well, you get scenes like this. Officers arresting anti-ICE protesters appear to be holding a sit-in, obviously, here. This is outside the ICE facilities. Sometime. You're about 25 minutes due west of Chicago. Our reporter, Mike Tobin, is there all day, and we'll check in with him. As
the destruction of America, the white liberal woman, without a doubt, without a doubt. If you remember when BLM was active, who was their biggest financial supporters? White liberal people. When we see all these Karens going off and all these protests, white liberal women. They are destroying this country. This was not too far from that protest. There's an arrest ICE made. Take a look at this, and then you'll might see something on the vehicle. Take a look. This is from Ford Fisher.
Sí, ¿qué está haciendo? Poniéndote los escudos. Pero no manda, güey. Estás estimando, güey, no está haciendo nada. ¿Dónde vas, mamá? ¿Qué puede ser eso? ¿Eh? Mis cosas, sí, ¿no? No one will. Yeah. I don't think we have room. You got room? No. Nope. Where you guys at? Walk over. Okay. Aquí corre.
Watch this. See the back of the vehicle? Look what it says. Watch. Watch this. Right there, it says Chinga la migra, which means pretty much F immigration, F border patrol. That's what these people chant. Chinga la migra. And they got that on the back of the Border Patrol vehicle with a Mexican flag. They're cruising around Chicago with Chinga La Migra on the back. Oh, man. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. How about this? Katie Davenport, one of the independent journalists out of Portland, got a ride-along with ICE yesterday. She updated. Go check out her X page. She's updated throughout the day some of her rides, similar to what Ben does quite a bit. We're just going to take one of the videos and show you those. Show you what ICE, one of the few things that ICE does, but listen. This is a vehicle running from them.
Left on bank.
Get him. Get him. Go get him. Go. Go, kid. Go. Oh, got him. Sit you up. There we go. Okay. On your pieds. On tres. Uno, dos, tres.
He knew this day was coming.
I got a double lock. Espérate, no te muevas. Your phone. Where are you running home? Te arrestaron porque está aquí ilegalmente. All right? Sí, ya saben. ¿Tienes pasaporte en tu auto? No tengo nada. Therefore, we're walking back down.
Which part? Here part.
Here? I'll do it here, check. Once you get back up.
Crashed his vehicle into the post right there and ran. Regardless of the government shutdown or not, ICE and Border Patrol are not deterred.
Because they're here. No, but you didn't say, like, make a right on Fifth.
Yeah.
Let's go bounce bus. And we still got to do area accessible with the hands.
I'm sure the media story will be man picnicking at park arrested by Border Patrol. So all he was doing was having a picnic at the park. Again, this was another targeted arrest. They are doing these daily. They are looking for they have license plate numbers. They've been scoping out these people. They know where they're going, and they're trying to make traffic stops, and these people are running from traffic stop. Prayers for all those people on Border Patrol and ICE. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, where we at? Yeah, we got time. Bannon was speaking, and I'm going to let you listen to what Bannon says, and I want to tell you about a conversation that I've had with many patriots over the last couple weeks, as well as me and Ben were discussing this the other night when he was down for the No on Prop 50 rally. Take a listen to what Bannon says.
And I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room
I don't know why it's doing
going
that.
to prison, myself included. 28, some in this room.
Some in this room
prison,
and myself included.
They're not going to stop. They're getting more and more and more radical. And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order, right? We have to codify it. And people say, well, they're just going to be messing bills. Senate. We got to put aside these structural barriers and get on with it. President Trump today gave to the Senate when they came over for breakfast, even Lindsey Graham, some of the guys that like, and some of these institutions, I understand this is a very tough decision to make. And you're going to see some people in the conservative movement that not in a million years, because I talked to him today, quite frankly, I had Hawley on the show this morning, Josh Hawley, and he's talking about it. And I'm trying to play the institution. Well, they called me up this afternoon and said, let's go through the 10 reasons we need to do it. And these are heavy hitters on what I would call the constitutional, the limited government constitutionalist in our movement. And they're about to come out over the next couple of days and make this argument because it said, look, we have to understand that if we don't take this to the maximum, a maximalist strategy now with a sense of urgency, and in doing this, seize the institutions, if we don't do that now, we're going to lose this chance forever because you're never going to have another Trump, right? You're just not going to have it. And I will.
I agree with this wholeheartedly. Right now, when we talked about those 24 senators that are refusing to do the nuclear option, anybody that stood or supported Trump will be politically persecuted again. If you think what we've seen over the first Biden administration or the only Biden administration was bad with preachers, parents, the FBI going after parents at school board meetings, you haven't seen nothing yet. Anybody that has fought the wokeism, anybody who has fought or even spoke against the communism and socialism of the Democrat Party will be punished to beyond any extent of the law. I was talking to Ben while we were out there, and we were just going back and forth, and I'm paraphrasing a lot of stuff, but I was like, if he's saying 26 and 28. I'm telling you, if we don't fare in the midterms in 2026, you can kiss everything Trump worked for goodbye. You can kiss this show goodbye. They will find ways to take down Rumble and X. They will do everything they can, just like they did in the first administration. And again, we need a full fast forward approach to do this. And if that means the nuclear option, we need the nuclear options. I told you, when Trump won, I ran into people and asked them what they've been doing, activists. Oh, since Trump won, I've just haven't been doing much. And I thought now's the most important time to do it. And if folks don't see that, and I get it, there is people in my neighborhood who do not pay attention to politics. They call themselves conservatives that don't have a clue what's in store for them. So far, nothing's affected them. Even Biden, they can afford 10% inflation. It cuts in a little bit, but they got two incomes, higher pay incomes. They don't like the fact that the registration on their car is $1,400 a year, but yeah, they can do that. It's going to be them that are affected the most. You wait and see. Upper middle class, because that's where they can get the money. They want to eliminate the middle class, and if we don't do something fast, I promise you guys, I told Ben, I feel like I need to just get in a whole nother. I have all this equipment. I said, I just need to be a sportscaster. I'll start covering local high school games. Just joking. I wouldn't do that. And I don't do this because I like this, guys. I actually loved the profession I was in before. I do this because I feel, especially in California and especially in the Fresno area, it needs to be done. We don't have a whole lot of West Coast folks that go out and do this. California used to have 40 people doing what I do. There might be a handful. There might be. And they're usually at their own groups doing their own things. And so pray for this country. Pray for those 24 senators to wake up. Pray for them to understand that if we don't do this and get Trump's agenda passed now, Biden's presidency will look like Disneyland. I promise you. That is no lie.
Tell you right now.
Could you imagine having Gavin Newsom as president in 2028? That'd be scary. I mean, he's already tried to ban. Think about it. I can't even go to I can't even go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy a gas-powered weed eater, blower, lawnmower. If I want gas-powered, I have to go drive to Arizona. He tried to ban internal combustion engines. Remember that? Thankfully for the Trump administration, they fought that. They want it impossible to do anything you want. The so-called freedom country. It's only going to be free for a short while longer unless we all stand up and do something. And it is extremely important. It is extremely important. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff. We're going to have a lot of travel coming up. Hopefully the Supreme Court doesn't decide against Trump's tariffs. I think that will be a bad thing for the country. I think it'll artificially inflate the stock market for a short period of time. Like investors will say, no tariffs, and invest really heavy, but you're going to see the market crash after that. I'm just telling you, that's my opinion. I'm not an economist. I've just watched this time and time again. And we've been right on this show many times, just saying, hey, I think this is going to happen. I'm don't got no degree in economics, but I'm not stupid and I can see what's happening. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure, it doesn't matter, find something you're passionate in, find whatever you got to do. Look at what's going on right now. Call the senators, have them vote to open up the government. Put pressure on them. I promise you, pressure can work if enough people do it. It can't just be a small percentage of folks. All right, guys. There might be a second show later. We might do a Rumble Premium later. We might have a surprise on a raffle too. Jan Garner donated some goodies for a raffle. I don't know if we're going to do a second show, but stay tuned. Don't know what time that will be. I have some stuff to take care of. I also got some stuff to work on in the studio as we organize and try to get the studio all set up to be ready to rock and roll. So I want to say thank you guys. If you guys want to donate, we are 100% viewer funded. We appreciate your donation. It keeps us doing what we're doing. And we've been very blessed in getting some new equipment, and we got more coming in today. So that's why I said we got to set some stuff up. You guys will like the full setup here pretty soon. And, we'll give you a little tour of it. Probably might even take a week to do. We'll still be doing shows, but it'll probably take a week. So thank you all for tuning in. If you do want to donate, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do mobile or online banking and you want to do a Zelle transfer, our Zelle transfer and the rest of our donation links are coming up on the board. Have a good Friday, folks.
The Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land.